How to remember words. Sarah often stared blankly at English words, feeling a profound sense of despair. Thousands of vocabulary cards littered her desk, each word a mountain too high to climb. She yearned to speak fluently, to join conversations, but a persistent fear gripped her tongue. This was her starting point, a common struggle shared by countless aspiring learners worldwide. Remembering words seemed an impossible feat for Sarah. She dutifully tried rote memorization, repeating definitions endlessly until her mind blurred. Yet, moments later, the words vanished, leaving her frustrated and defeated. This method clearly wasn't working, despite its traditional appeal. A new approach was desperately needed to overcome this persistent lexical block. Her breakthrough began when she stumbled upon talking tips online. The advice wasn't about memorizing lists, but about using words in context. This shift in perspective was revolutionary. Instead of isolated terms, she started connecting words to experiences, to emotions, and to vivid mental images. The task felt less daunting now. She discovered that truly remembering words meant engaging with them actively. Not just seeing them, but hearing them, speaking them, and writing them. This multisensory approach anchored the vocabulary deeper in her mind. It was no longer a passive exercise but an immersive linguistic adventure, slowly yielding positive results. The tips emphasized creating mental links, weaving new words into existing knowledge webs. If serene appeared, she pictured a calm lake she knew, feeling the peacefulness. This personal connection made recall instantaneous and natural. Her memory became a vast tapestry, not merely a collection of isolated threads, steadily expanding. Next came the monumental challenge of talking tips for speaking. Sarah's voice trembled whenever she attempted English sentences. The fear of making mistakes paralyzed her. However, the advice was simple: start talking, no matter how imperfectly. This seemingly small instruction felt like a giant leap. She began practicing alone, whispering simple phrases to herself in the mirror. Hello, how are you today? I am fine, thank you. These rudimentary exchanges felt clumsy but important. Each whispered word was a tiny victory, slowly chipping away at her deeply ingrained vocal hesitation. It was a beginning. The key talking tip she embraced was recording her own voice. Listening back, she identified pronunciation issues and awkward pauses. While sometimes cringeworthy, this objective self-assessment was invaluable. It provided concrete feedback for improvement, fostering a growth mindset rather than self-criticism during her journey. How to practice English became her new mantra. The advice suggested daily immersion, not just structured lessons. Sarah started labeling objects around her house in English, reinforcing vocabulary visually. Her home transformed into a silent, immersive English classroom, always available for quick, spontaneous review sessions. She sought out low-stakes practice environments. Online language exchange partners provided a safe space for casual conversation. The pressure was off, mistakes were expected and even welcomed. These interactions, though sometimes halting, built genuine confidence in her ability to communicate basic ideas. Another powerful practice tip was thinking in English. Instead of translating thoughts from her native language, Sarah consciously tried to form them directly in English. This mental exercise, though difficult at first, gradually accelerated her thought processing and fluency, becoming more seamless over time. Start step-by-step talking was the gentle push she needed. The journey wasn't about sudden fluency but consistent, tiny advancements. Her first goal was just to say one full sentence confidently in public. This small, achievable target made the entire process seem less overwhelming. She then progressed to simple conversations, ordering coffee, asking for directions. Each brief interaction was a micro-achievement. The fear didn't vanish entirely, but its grip weakened with every successful exchange. Her confidence grew incrementally, fueling further efforts and overcoming initial anxieties. Sarah understood that fluency wasn't about perfect grammar but effective communication. Prioritizing getting her message across, even with errors, was liberating. This shifted her focus from self-criticism to practical interaction, making the talking process far more enjoyable and sustainable daily. The way of learning English revealed itself as deeply personal. There wasn't a single magic bullet. Some thrived on grammar drills, others preferred speaking. Sarah realized her strength lay in active, communicative learning, not passive textbook study, which resonated deeply with her current needs. She experimented with different resources, podcasts, YouTube channels, short stories. Each offered a unique entry point into the language. Finding what truly engaged her, rather than what was prescribed, made the learning process enjoyable and sustainable for the long term. Sarah embraced the idea of learning by doing. Her notebook became a journal where she wrote about her day in English. Imperfect sentences, but progress nonetheless. This active engagement solidified her understanding and provided a practical outlet for her evolving linguistic skills. Observing how other people talk in English became a fascinating study for Sarah. She noticed not just individual words, but the rhythm, intonation, and common expressions used by native speakers. This subtle observation deepened her understanding beyond mere vocabulary. She started mimicking common phrases and expressions, even if she didn't fully grasp every nuance initially. This shadowing technique helped her mouth and tongue get accustomed to the sounds and flow of English, making her own speech sound more natural. This observation extended to body language and cultural context. Understanding these nonverbal cues was just as important as the spoken words in comprehending conversations fully. It transformed her perception of communication from merely linguistic to holistically cultural. The overarching message, "Learn English," now resonated with a renewed sense of purpose for Sarah. It wasn't just about a skill, it was about connecting with a broader world, accessing new information, and experiencing different cultures firsthand. Her motivation shifted from obligation to genuine desire. The joy of understanding a complex podcast or participating in a lively discussion became its own reward. This intrinsic motivation proved far more powerful than any external pressure, sustaining her progress. Sarah recognized that learning English was a marathon, not a sprint. There would be plateaus and moments of doubt, but consistent effort, however small, always yielded progress. Patience became her greatest ally on this expansive linguistic journey. Then came the crucial insight: why you must listen. Sarah had always focused on speaking, but listening, she realized, was the foundation. Without robust input, her output remained limited and often unnatural, lacking authentic flow. She began listening actively, not just passively hearing. This meant paying attention to accents, word stress, and the subtle ways meaning was conveyed. Podcasts, movies without subtitles, and English music became her immersive audio classroom. Understanding different English accents was particularly challenging but vital. British, American, Australian, each had its unique melodic quality. Sarah dedicated time to expose herself to a variety of spoken forms, broadening her comprehension greatly. The phrase, "listen and practice," became the cornerstone of her new routine. She listened to a short clip, then immediately tried to repeat key phrases or summarize the content aloud. This active engagement cemented her understanding and improved her pronunciation significantly. This iterative cycle of listening and practicing transformed her learning. It was no longer about isolated skills but an integrated approach where input directly informed output. Her English began to flow more naturally, less like a puzzle, more like a song. Sarah used dictation exercises, writing down what she heard. This sharpened her auditory comprehension and spelling. It was a meticulous process, but highly effective in catching subtle sounds and differentiating similar-sounding words, improving accuracy. She also practiced shadowing speakers, mimicking their pace and intonation simultaneously. This technique helped her internalize the rhythm of English speech, making her own spoken language sound more authentic and less foreign, a truly powerful exercise. One day, amidst her relentless efforts, a thought crept in: why you should not learn English. It wasn't a genuine desire to quit, but a moment of profound introspection. Was she learning for the right reasons? Was the struggle worth it? This challenging question forced her to confront her deepest motivations. Was it just a career requirement? Or was there something more profound drawing her to this language? The answer, she discovered, lay in true personal connection. She realized that if learning English felt like a chore, devoid of joy or genuine interest, then perhaps she shouldn't force it. True mastery, she mused, came from passion, not mere obligation, a realization that reframed her entire journey. However, the thought didn't deter her. Instead, it clarified her purpose. She wasn't learning English because she had to, but because she genuinely wanted to communicate, to explore, to connect with people and ideas globally. This internal dialogue strengthened her resolve. It shifted her perspective from external pressure to internal drive. The struggle transformed from a burden into a rewarding challenge, igniting a deeper, more sustainable commitment to her goals. Sarah's transformation was gradual yet undeniable. Her hesitant whispers evolved into confident conversations. The vocabulary that once overwhelmed her now flowed naturally from her lips, an organic part of her self-expression. She found herself comfortably navigating foreign cities, engaging in lively debates, and even understanding complex jokes in English. The world had literally opened up to her, offering endless possibilities and new adventures daily. Her success wasn't just about speaking. It was about confidence, resilience, and the sheer joy of overcoming a significant personal challenge. She felt empowered, knowing she could achieve anything she set her mind to accomplish. Sarah began sharing her journey, inspiring others who faced similar struggles. She emphasized that fluency wasn't about innate talent, but consistent effort and the right strategies, tailored to individual learning styles and needs. Her story became a testament to the power of perseverance. Many people approached her, seeking advice, eager to replicate her remarkable transformation. She became a beacon of hope in their own linguistic battles. Remember words by using them, she would often advise. Don't just memorize, apply. Speak, write, listen, and interact. Make every new word a tool for communication, not merely an item on a list. For talking tips, she recommended starting small. Don't aim for perfection, she'd say. Aim for communication. Get your message across, even if it's clumsy. Practice makes progress, not necessarily immediate flawless speech. On how to practice English, her mantra was immersion. Surround yourself with the language, she'd encourage. Watch English movies, listen to music, read books. Make English a part of your daily life, not just a study subject. Start step-by-step talking, she insisted. Say 1 sentence today, 2 tomorrow. Build your confidence brick by brick. Every spoken word, no matter how simple, is a step forward on your journey to fluent expression. Regarding the way of learning English, she advocated for personal exploration. Find what resonates with you, she'd explain. Not every method works for everyone. Experiment, adapt, and discover your unique pathway to linguistic success. Observe how other people talk in English, she advised earnestly. Pay attention to their rhythm, their tone, their expressions. Mimicry is a powerful tool for sounding more natural and understanding cultural nuances deeply. Why you must listen is crucial, she always stressed. Listening is input. Without rich input, your output will remain shallow. It's like filling a cup before you can pour. Absorb the language fully. Listen and practice, she reinforced, are two sides of the same coin. Listen actively, then immediately try to use what you heard. This active reinforcement locks the language into your long-term memory effectively. And finally, she would share her "Why You Should Not Learn English" revelation. If it's just a burden, she'd pause, then reconsider. But if it truly excites you, if it opens doors to worlds you crave, then embrace the challenge wholeheartedly. Sarah's journey proved that English mastery isn't about natural talent, but about strategic, consistent effort, fueled by genuine curiosity. Her story became a testament to transformative growth, inspiring countless others globally. She now confidently conversed with people from all corners of the globe, her English clear and expressive. The fear had evaporated, replaced by genuine joy in connection. Her dedication had truly paid off in remarkable ways.